Hello, we're here with Jan Van Jarovsky and Nate Kelly from Maritime Rowing Club. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure seeing you again. Please tell me a little bit about your club, your history of the club.
We started club in 1996. It was first year when we started in this little bay. That was the beginning of the Maritime Rowing Club, which grew into the big one of the most competitive clubs in the States. And Nate Kelly was one of the first juniors which brought success to the program. He started crew in ninth grade, and from there he is continuing his rowing journey.
So I started in ninth grade in 2002 here at Maritime Rowing Club. This original bay you see behind me, plus these two on our right-hand side that we'll go on to talk about. But I remember my first day of rowing. I was down on the dock learning just basic technique, and Jan came around the corner and said he needed another guy to fill into the octuple, an 8-man sculling boat. And my first day ever, any kind of rowing experience, was this guy right here yelling at me, and I was hooked instantly. You know, there's something about being on the water and the surge of the boat that just took us off, and I've been hooked for the last, it's been now 13, coming up on my 13th season, 13th full year. So, but Jan was my coach all through high school. Under him, I was a two-time national champion at Club Nationals in the men's quad. We were bronze medalist in the men's double. I competed and made to the final in the junior men's single in 2005 at Youth Nationals. And then the following year, 2006, my senior year, we were silver medalist in the men's quad. I went on to college to row for Trinity College up in Hartford, Connecticut. There I was a member of the varsity team sophomore through senior year. I got to compete and make to the round of 8, the Henley Royal Regatta in 2008. In 2009 I was a member of the U23 U.S. Rowing National Team. And we went to compete in Czech Republic with actually a doubles partner that I met and rowed with here in high school. And then senior year I was tri-captain of the men's varsity team. And throughout college, actually even going back, thinking the head of the Charles Regatta in the fall, my first race there ever was in high school with Jan as our coach, and we finished 3rd place in the men's youth double. And beyond that, 5 years later, my worst finishing was that 3rd place at the head of Charles. I went on to get a course record in the men's double, a course record in the men's 8, and then 2 silver medals in the men's 4 and men's 8 as well. So Jan kicked me off pretty good in high school and set my rowing career on fire. So
Wow,
it's been
amazing.
Good.
It's quite an achievement, Jan.
So it was a great experience, and the most important, all the juniors which starting in the high school, becoming members of the Maritime Rowing Club and continue their rowing career through the rest of their life. So that is they're always coming back after they graduating from high school, from college. They continue to improve their rowing skills. They represent club. They having fun around.
Terrific,
So
gentlemen.
also yesterday we raced at Derby Sweep and Scull, and Nate appearing as a master already, like
An oldie.
2 gold medals.
2 gold medals
Yes.
yesterday in the Derby.
First Masters race.
Excellent. Oh, first Masters.
First
Congratulations.
Masters race. So
You look too young to be in the
on
Masters.
to the old guys crowd. So
Good. Congratulations.
thank you.
All right, gentlemen, tell me about the history of the club here at Maritime Rowing.
So all history started right here at this little bay. This is a water sports center, original sign of the club, and This little bay we used it as a boat storage, as a training room. We had there 4 ergs here. So we start to coach a little middle schoolers, high school kids, and their parents. We donated land rowing to New Canaan crew, and parents supported, and they start to learn how to row, and eventually they became one of the first members in the club. So it's a little space, but it's had a lot of history.
So we're inside here at Maritime Rowing Club, checking out the indoor facilities, the gym. And Nate, tell me a little bit about the club's history. I know there's a lot of memorabilia here on the wall.
So we took this space up here in 2005, and it was still this original hardwood floor here, and some of the equipment that you see. But we recently went under some renovations where we were able to add a bunch more ergs, a lot more spin bikes, the treadmills and the ellipticals you see over in the right-hand corner, and it's given us the ability and capacity to take on more athletes, both at the middle school, high school level, but also at the collegiate level with the Reach Out program that Jan wants to initiate with military collegiate students, as well as our post-college, U23 national team, Olympic team program that Jan likes to put together, and the athletes that he produces, as well as at the master's level. We have a very active master's level starting at 5:30 in the morning, going on to 9 in the morning, and the high school program comes in towards the afternoon. But back here on the wall, this has sort of become our wall of history. In no particular order, pictures are sort of put up here that are either memorable to Jan and Olga or significant to the program. For instance, this picture up here, that's the original quad that got the first medal ever for Jan and Olga at the national stage. Those 4 guys got the bronze medal in 2003 at Youth Nationals. And the gentleman, the tallest guy there, second from the left, is Charlie Cole. And he went on to be a bronze medalist at the Olympics in London in 2012. He rowed for Yale in college, was a member of the junior Worlds team, the U23 Worlds team, and the senior national team, as well as the Olympic team. So you can see that picture back from 2001 really shows the history of this program and the quality of the athletes that are produced from this program. As Jan was saying earlier, it's not so much about what you can do now in this moment, but the program that he builds, the athletes that he builds, really for a lifetime of rowing. It's a sport that you can really truly do for the rest of your life, which is what Jan really teaches and lives by. So this was a nice canvas done by one of the parents of a rower in this shell. This was actually, it's hard to tell if you don't know that much about rowing yet. This is an octuple, so it's 8 men with 2 oars, sculling. And it's a very rare boat. What makes it even more rare is the coxswain is actually sitting in the bow seat. Normally the coxswain sits in the stern, so he can see all 8 guys, knows where the boat's going, can talk technique, but he's sitting up in the bow. These guys all have their own 2 oars, so it's a very actually sort of cool photo to have, because there's only a handful in the United States, let alone the world. We have our Beijing Signatures over here from 2008. One of the members of the 8 was one of Jan's students from high school. They got a bronze medal in 2008 as well. And that same guy was actually an alternate in the 2004 Athens Olympics, where the men's 8 got a gold medal and set the course record. So again, this is a testament to Jan's success as a coach and what he builds. Down here is some old photos, 2006. This was actually my senior year at the Northeast Regionals. This is all the athletes that we qualified to go on to the national championship. As you can see, That is a lot of athletes. At that national championship that year, we came back with, I believe, 2 gold medals and 3 silver medals. And this was still, 2006, 8 years ago. Jan was still putting together a pretty top-notch program.
This is very, very impressive. I was captivated with all the medals that I saw too.
Yeah, the medal count. Squeeze through here. Get through there. Obviously, there are a number of different regattas that we go to every year, but at the national level, even the regional level, Northeast regionals, Maritime is consistently, a top 3 program in the events that we enter. Maritime likes to emphasize sculling, the 2-oar rowing, because that's just a better way to develop a young body, a collegiate body, a master's body. But a lot of the U.S. Emphasis at the Olympic level and the world stage is on sweeping, and in the college level it's a lot on sweeping. So at the high school level, by starting with sculling, you develop both sides of your body, and then when you get into college or into the Olympic level, a coach is able to put you either on port or starboard side because you don't have your preference yet. And so that as well sets up an athlete for a very successful career beyond what Jan is teaching us here.
So what's the difference for those that don't know? What's the difference between sweeping and sculling?
Sweeping is 1-oar rowing. If you can tell in this photo here, there are just 4 oars on each side, but for 8 girls. So you use 2 hands on 1 oar, and you either tweak your body to a port side or to a starboard side, whereas sculling is 2-oar rowing, and you're much wider, even. You can row in a 1-man boat, obviously, because you're 2 oars. A 1-oar boat, 1-guy boat wouldn't work. People always ask that and joke about it, exactly. So I was like, but it's it's a preference for people. As you get older, it's a little bit harder on your body because you do become unbalanced, and that's why at the master's level it is a lot of sculling. But when you're younger and you have a large program, to be able to fit 8 guys into a boat and compete at that stage, with other schools, other programs, it's much easier than trying to get 8 shells of singles rather than 1 shell for an 8. So that's why it's very strong in the United States, because there is such a large rowing population and large rowing community. You're able to fit many more athletes into 1 shell. But again, we do both here at Maritime. Just the emphasis is on sculling. Okay. One other photo here that actually stands out to me. This is Zach Krupp, a former teammate of mine from high school. He was 1 year above me. He graduated in 2005. Went on to row at the University of Wisconsin, where they won the IRA National Championships, which is the largest and most prestigious and important college championship regatta in the country. It's where all the top Division I programs compete against each other for the title, the national title. And Zach was a member of that crew. He's actually the one standing up here, celebrating at the end of the line. And it was, just absolutely an amazing day for University of Wisconsin, as well as Maritime. It's the first IRA national champion that they've produced. This is the gentleman I was talking about from the Beijing 8, where he got a bronze medal. This tall guy right here, and he was an alternate member of the Athens team in 2004. These are the guys that I pointed out. Charlie Cole, the original photo from there on the left. This is their bronze medal at the Youth National Championship, Youth Invitational at the time in 2003.
Nice. This is just amazing.
Yeah, and then beyond here, you get, these are the more recent photos from 2006 and on. These are Club National Championship photos here. This was...
Oh, okay, you're down here.
This is where we are. So this was our second Club National Championship, gold medal in the men's quad. We had a bronze medal in the double, and another silver medal in the women's quad.
Great.
and we get on to this was our first quad that we sent to the Henley Royal Regatta. These gentlemen actually won the first gold medal at the Youth National Invitational that Jan has ever received. And beyond that, we've received 4 more gold medals since 2007. These gentlemen went on to represent the United States at the Canamex Regatta, which is held between Canada, the United States, and Mexico, with an additional handful of Central American countries. And they went on to win the quad, as well as the double and the single up in Canada, representing the United States. And they went on to the Henley Royal Regatta out in England as well. So that was a very successful year for those guys. And the stroke of that boat is still training now for the national team.
So I noticed more medals here.
Yep, a lot more medals, and you had them there before. These are sort of a collection of the regattas that we've held here on the Norwalk River. This medal, for instance, we used to have each season we would host either a head race or a sprint race for the local programs around. Jan, likes to get everybody together as often as he can, in the spirit of competition, but also, engage South Norwalk, the community. You have people standing out on the car bridge out by Maritime Aquarium. It's a really great venue to watch boats come down. And on this river alone, we've got 4 boathouses, 4 programs. So you can put together quite a regatta with just those 4 programs. And then a collection of medals from either Northeast Regionals, which is where you qualify to go on to the national championship. But the medal count in people's homes far outweighs anything that you'd ever be able to see, and you really hear it from the stories and the impact that Jan and Olga and Maritime has had on their lives. So
very, very impressive.
yeah, it's a good collection on this wall.
Great. Well, thank you for the tour.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it. Thank
Definitely.
you very much.
Hope you guys get to come down here and try it out.
Thanks. We will.